It's been a lot. Hi, everybody. It's been a really, really long time since we've uploaded on this channel. What stuck with me yesterday, we went to that UCLA event and somebody asked my manager, you know, what works on YouTube? What kills on YouTube? Is it like gaming? And he was like, to be honest, what works on YouTube is consistency. Like, that's what it is. And like, that's kind of the hardest part of the game is like
staying consistent.
Yeah. So we don't apologize to you because you're probably living your life, but we apologize to ourselves, you know, because we had good momentum on this channel for a minute.
Yeah, we fell off. Life got crazy. You know, you were filming 2 shows at once, writing on another show, producing your own show, and on tour.
Yeah. And that's, I guess, been kind of the frustration of this past month is like juggling and managing so much. And then sometimes it feels like it's kind of I have a weird relationship with success. I will say that because I'm grateful enough to have probably for the past, I've never had a full-time job in my life. I'll say that. I've never had a service industry job in my life. I've had some weird jobs, but by and large, like I've been able to make a living off of what I'm actually talented at. But it's always kind of been like to here. You know what I mean? Like no matter what, be it photography, be it hosting, be it sex expertising, I've always kind of made it to a certain level and then surpassing that. Like now I feel like I'm kind of surpassing that, but I'm surpassing it in terms of opportunity, but not really in terms of notoriety.
Yeah, popularity.
Popularity, yeah.
To stand out in a crowd full of talented people, you have to be consistent.
Mm-hmm. And that's the hard part because sometimes consistency doesn't necessarily mean progress.
Yeah.
It just means consistency.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just maintaining, and that's the thing too, is that for me, it's like maintaining my existing audience without expecting that it's going to be like that consistency equals exponential growth. Yeah. Consistency can just equal maintenance, but maintenance in itself is success.
Yeah. And you're going through a little thing where you dropped your first episode and it didn't do as well as you expected.
Yes, the kind of disappointment with that is that, so like he said, during the month of April, it's just been a really successful month for me off of my channel. And just in terms of opportunity and access and just the cool factor has been incredible. So I was like, I really want to do something that raises the bar in terms of my career and my reach. I want to do sex ed the way that I originally envisioned it. And now that I have a bit more capital, we have more resources, we have a lot more tools that we've purchased. Can I take that and apply it to my shit to make it better than ever? Mm-hmm. So we invested in doing this 5-part series. I wrote it. I researched and wrote direct to cameras afterwards. Jared and I shot it together. We cast people that we knew in it, but we financed and paid for these people. And then just spent the last month editing, doing voiceovers, redoing voiceovers, re-editing stuff, and it felt like, okay, like, you know when something for you is like a really big deal in your heart, like, okay, I'm putting this thing out, it's finally gonna happen, like this is my best work yet. And then I made this thing to Jared where I was like, I want to say, because I was gonna release it all at once, like all 5 one day, and then I was like, nah, I'll release 1 a day, and then I was like, no, how about people have to unlock it based on views? And then I made the views 40,000, and 40,000 is not a crazy amount of views for me. It's a decent amount. It's a probably average performing video. But like that, it probably takes the average video to hit 40,000 in about a week or so. So I was like, cool, I'm gonna do 40,000. And then I was saying to Jared before I released it, I'm like, yo, what if like they are ready for episode 2 in 2 hours? Like, are we ready for episode 2? Like, what if this thing goes viral? What if, I was so excited. And then didn't have to worry about that. Didn't have to worry about that at all. It was the exact opposite. I mean, people enjoyed it, which is great. It has 20,000 views. I really
20,000 people.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't sound a lot to you because you get like 100,000, 200,000, and like that one video is at 900,000. Like I get that, but 20,000 people.
It just kind of hurt because it definitely felt like one of those things where you're always looking for that thing that's going to make your mark. You know.
But it's out there.
We were battling with this, I was battling with this morning because I really wanted to, because my show on Fullscreen comes out May 15th, which I'm so excited about. And the thing about it is that when the Fullscreen show came out, I went through this exact same disappointment of like, well, damn, I did my best work. I love the show. I'm so passionate about it. And it kind of feels like
there it is.
The response is just lukewarm. But mind you, that disappointment led me to really keep pushing and promoting it. And even though it didn't necessarily make me into a massive, you know, iconic celebrity, it did get me a season 2.
Yeah.
And so that hunger definitely paid off. So when that happened, I kind of felt the same disappointment of like, man, I kind of thought it would be bigger, and I don't know what I'm expecting.
I wouldn't put any pressure on it. I would put it out. Who cares if it doesn't get to 40,000? I'll drop it tomorrow if I were you.
Yeah.
Why not? Fuck it. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? Because it's a good story.
We all have this idea of it's going to blow up. Maybe it doesn't.
Yeah. Maybe it doesn't, but who cares if it doesn't?
And that's, I guess, one of the things you're gonna have to struggle with. That you know, what's important to you? Is it the kind of work that you put out, or is it the amount of people? And this is the age-old question for any artist. I'm really, really proud of this series. I think it's really intriguing and interesting, and I didn't go the cheap route on it, where I could have in many ways. But I wanted people to be as excited and as just like thrilled that this kind of content was out there as I am, because I'm like, this is the kind of content that I have been dying to make. This is the kind of content that I would watch in a heartbeat. This is the kind of content that when I was figuring it out in my early 20s, like, would have meant the world to me.
But those executives, they can't see that unless you show it to them. And right now, I feel like you're showing it to them, and you're gonna continue to show it to them. And like I said before, the episode 1 is the most uninteresting one. Like when you get to episode 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, you're gonna be like, oh, I get why that one was set up that way.
Yeah.
You know, so it just takes time.
And I feel like I guess that's the, I just love you, 1. But 2, you have to continue to go on without the expectation that it's going to. Because if it doesn't, you know, it's my favorite quote is that it's on the desktop at all times. You cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can't say this one didn't do well because the next one is going to. I don't know. The next one could perform worse.
But who cares?
Who cares?
You know, you have to be able to, Absol, if anybody listens to Absol, but he was saying in an interview, you have to be able to do this shit and see no results to see results. So I always kind of put that in my little memory bank. Like, I have to be okay with doing this shit and seeing no results.
Yeah.
And that's when you start getting results. Letting go of your personal, like, this is what it needs to be, this is where it needs to go. Letting go of that gives you so much freedom. And then with freedom allows growth. So you gotta just put it out there, and if people respond to it, great. If people don't respond to it, whatever. I'm gonna keep putting stuff like this out. You know?
Is there a part of you that is afraid? I talked about barriers yesterday at the UCLA thing. That people make barriers as to why they can't create.
Yeah.
And they continuously put off creating because they make these barriers. Are you afraid that you might be one of those people?
100%. I know I'm one of those people. And what happens is I get to the roof of the quality of the content that I can create. And I think, okay, how do I make this better? And then I'll reach another level. And then I'll get to the roof of that. And then I'll be like, how do I get to better than this? And then I'll get to another level. I don't know if that's ever going to end. I don't know. But my hope is that when I do get the booth, I can at least feel confident enough in the stuff that I'm doing to be able to put it out. And then if I continue to upgrade my studio, then that's only a good thing.
Yeah.
You know? But if I get to the booth, and I will be concerned if I get the booth and I don't put any music out.
Yeah.
I'll be concerned. But I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
So this channel is called The Examined Life. It has been a month since we've done any kind of examining. What is something that you've learned and something that you're still trying to figure out?
I've learned that I'm good. Like, as far as music, as far as talking, as far as having conversations. I've learned that I am not one of those guys, which I thought I was. I'm not one of those guys that can't have conversations. I'm not one of those artists that can't talk. I'm not one of those artists that can't be in front of the camera all the time. And I used to think I was one of those artists that was so engulfed in my art that I let go of the qualities of trying to be normal and human and have good interactions without having weird interactions, you know? I used to be really insecure with my thought process, and I felt like I didn't formulate norms with the way, or I didn't formulate the norm perspective. And I used to think that would put me at a disadvantage. But yeah, and I think what I'm still trying to figure out is my place on this YouTube platform.
I think my greatest lesson this month has been I can do it. I've done and accomplished so much. My schedule has been so crazy. I often call myself like a really big home hermit, and I've been outside of the home a lot, and I've been okay. I think that it's just like I can manifest the life that I want. I can set big goals that I can achieve. Something I'm trying to figure out though is how to achieve a YouTube audience, a massive YouTube audience. I mean, that's something that I've definitely wanted for a long time. I've been on YouTube for longer than most people probably have, and I've sort of been in the same spot where it's like it's shifted, but then I still have videos that hit 20, which is a fine thing, but mind you, 5 years ago I had videos that hit 20. Yeah. So I want to be at the place now where I'm consistently at 100,000 or consistently at 200,000, which would be amazing, but I haven't figured out how to really make a impact on YouTube in a way that I want to. And it's amazing to have the people that I do have, and I appreciate and love you guys, but I feel like the kind of content that I have can do good for the masses. And so I don't just want it to be a small group of people who get it and who are sex positive already. I want it to be people who have never even thought about searching this kind of content and stumble upon it, and they're like, I had no idea that this information could save my life. I had no idea this information could make me a greater person, make life easier for me. And that's the person I'm really targeting. I love my community of people who already get it, but I want the bigger community who's outside of that, who I think could benefit from it. And that part is still very fucking confusing to me, obviously, because you just never know. It's really not about, there's some videos that you put out that you're like, oh damn, I have no idea that
would go.
We've had that on this channel.
Yeah.
Where we had a couple videos that just go, and we're like, we don't know. Like, there's no
I'll take it.
But then you have some that you're really precious about, and you care about, and that you put all the effort in, and you really anticipate greatness for, that just don't.
That's Murphy's Law.
Yeah.
So, as soon as it's coming together, guys.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's coming together.